Success is the proof. Find somebody that has as fine a as AZD, as many of them, as loyal, as long-term, as transparently as he has them. He puts it out. He talks about it. They show up to his podcast open. You can see them right there. Sometimes they unmute, they talk like they're real people. You go see the Instagram, see who they are. Whoa. For years and years and years. Okay? Measure that. Like, compare and contrast. Maybe it's hard to measure, so just compare. Who's second place? Who's the second best? Do you have to search far and wide across the globe to find someone that's even on the podium with him? And then start to zoom in and inspect, and you'll see how, I want to say miraculous, it's how amazing it is that someone is succeeding at that game, transparently revealing it, showing it nonstop, and talking about how he does it, and still does it, and everyone's in agreement, and it's amazing because it's ethics, and that's what the camp is. The camp is Panjo, the God killer, and this is AZD teaching relationships, how to do relationships like he does. There's pickup, there's seduction, there's language, there's influence, there's spirituality, there's all these other subjects, and then there's relationships. This is the first camp I've seen from him. I'm Yogi Chris. I've been running his camps for like 5 years or 6 years or something. First camp that I've seen or heard him talk about this is how to do relationships. And already he's changing so many men's lives. We just did podcast. It's a game podcast. So guys, you can come to that. Just DM me for the link. And it's just spitting game. It's free game. He's teaching free game 2 hours every morning, Pacific time, 10 to 12. Then there's, of course, the daily classes where we're all masterminding about game. It's at a higher level. The podcast is Q&A and, revealing to guys how much you need to learn. The membership class is structured and there's tons of recordings. It's all organized for you so that you get the information how to do it. At some point, you could maybe be a beginner or more experienced guys or whoever you are. If you want to do relationships, not just game, do relationships, how AZD is succeeding in relationships. Remember, that's the proof. Well, come to camp. All right. It's on early bird for just a little bit more. And even if you don't catch the early bird, just catch whatever price it's at, because it's priceless, really. If you don't know how to do relationships, you know what the value of the camp is? The more money you make, the more valuable it is. Do I need to convince any man out there that the more successful you get, the more risk you are of the taking half or destroying your life with legal fees or just doing something a year later, 10 years later? You decide. That's the risk, and the culture pushes that, and that's what happens. You look left and right. You just have to open one eye to see it. So how much is the camp worth? Man, if you're broke as a joke, it's not worth to you. If you don't have any women or you never think you're going to get women, it's worth nothing to you. If you're a high achieving man, it's worth everything, bro. Because it's not just about losing half. Man, you lose your attention, your peace of mind, your peace of heart, your time. You can't get that back. So everybody should get onto game. They should get onto AZD game. Every celebrity, every politician, every man. Because it's not just about some men succeeding and the others at the expense of others. It's about raising the culture and humanity. And it starts with men. Men would lead the way, not women. Women are the selectors. They're the choosers. We mold the environment and ourselves and everything by their selection. And the ones that we desire the most have more influence on their choice. But desire is also not just physical. Listen, come to podcast. If you're good with podcasts, come to daily class. If you're good with daily class and you're like, man, this is dope. And you guys would know, I want to know the next level. How to do relationships. You'll never go wrong investing even a penny. But that's why we put out the free stuff. Podcast every morning, DM me. I thought this was a promo for the camp, but I'm really promoting the podcast. But everybody else, get on the next levels. I explained it very clearly. Os.